Good morning and welcome to NRG this week. I'm Oren Stewart standing in for Leon Thomas. We have a great guest in store for you today. Stay tuned. You do not want to miss it. Morning and welcome to NRG this week. I am Oren Stewart standing in for Leon Thomas, joining Mr. Mike Weiner. We have a great guest in store for you today, Miss Kristen Kodensky. Mike, come on in and join me so we can introduce our amazing guest. How are you, sir?
Hey, Oren, I'm doing awesome, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. So glad to be here with you this week. Looking forward to our great interview with Kristen Kodensky. So you let us know when to bring her in. We can bring her on in.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I want to just highlight one big thing. We speaker series this Friday, not August. I'm jumping ahead.
That's all right.
Friday, April 14th. It's going to be Laura Lynn Mears. She's a business coach out of Long Island. And, we have a speaker every single month. We've got speakers like Steve Black, Michelle Wilson, yours truly. But it's a part of NRG that we do beside the weekly meetings and the extravaganzas. But as far as today, Oren, I'm really excited. We've got a young lady, Kristen. She's been with me about a year.
Wow.
She is in our Philadelphia NRG group. She's definitely a serial entrepreneur. She's got more websites than the Orioles have starting pitching, I think. But
Yes, indeed.
let's bring Kristen in and we'll introduce her. But really excited to have her here this morning.
Sounds good. Yes, let's bring her in. Kristen, good morning. How are you?
I am good. I'm great.
Yes, indeed. And, like we mentioned, who we are, and so glad to have you here. And I'll tell you, as Mike was saying, to the many, many ways that we can be able to find you on social media, you have to tell us about you.
Yeah. So I'm Midnight. My name is Kristen Godensky, Midnight Design and Promos. I am an agency, but ever since COVID hit, I really do a lot of social media. So I am everywhere. I gave you my links page. So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, but I'm really pushing YouTube and TikTok, which was my New Year's resolution, was to stream every day. But even my son, who's a gamer, he's on Twitch. So I'm on Twitch now, and I don't belong on Twitch. But they have a Get Chat section, and I think my thing is called Midnight Motivation, and everyone needs motivation everywhere. So I'm giving those gamers a little motivation on Twitch.
Yes.
So yeah.
That is awesome. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna back away, let the two of you all chat, because we're looking forward to hearing so much more about what it is that you do and where we can find you.
Okay.
All right, have a great show.
Awesome. Appreciate you. So, Kristen, you and I have been working together about a year. I think I found you on Facebook. I find people all different places. Sometimes they find me, and I know I reached out to you. You came out to the Philly group. You joined immediately. You do a lot of different things. So, if you had to kind of summarize in 2 or 3 sentences for our viewing audience that will be watching today and in the future, how would you describe your businesses? And maybe the main business, but if you could give us a couple of sentences, that would be great.
Well, I'm a one-stop shop. I've tried to do the value meal thing, and I've tried, and I was disappointed for a long time that I didn't have like a million clients, but I've really been, as I've been working on honing everything, I've realized that I've been doing this for over 20 years. And, the clients that I have, and not many people can say this, have been with me for 10 to 20 years. So like once I get somebody, they stay. And the reason they stay is because I offer so many services. I offered a lot of small and medium-sized businesses, websites, like if someone needs a quick website and everything. And then, then I help them market it with lead generation, direct mail, online advertising, social media marketing. And then, so the name is Midnight Design and Promos. Like if they need promos, so I have a med spa, like they need the yoga bands and the headbands and the cold presses, but they have lunch and learns and they need events and they need promotions. So pretty much, if you can't afford a big, huge agency, but you need everything, because one of the things I say a lot. It's not like Field of Dreams. Like if you build it, they will just come. They don't. And so that's what I do, and everything overlaps. And even with now my Midnight Motivation, I just did for an artist a small website. Jack Dalton of Carriage House Works. I just had him on my show. I did his website, but then I'm like, let me promote you. So I love promoting my clients. I've been at the med spa promoting them. So it all overlaps. And so, yes, websites, social media marketing are the two big things that I do. I also do apparel and promos, direct mail. What's great is how everything cross marketing is so important. With lead generation, I have this great tool that direct mail is not dead. And when people get a postcard now, you target your audience, and then people, before they get the piece in the mail, they actually start seeing on social media your ads and your posts. Then they get the piece in the mail, and then sorry, there's my kitten. Then after, they continue to see the social media posts. And with technology and everything and what we can track, and with SMS and texting and everything. So it really all overlaps these days. And it's very important. And when I build a website, after I build it, I do the email newsletters and the social media and the blogs, and it all works together. So it really isn't tons of services. It's what you have to do these days. Be a little bit every.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I like about you, sometimes people put up a website and it's static. It's just there and it's not doing anything. And with you, everything it's synergistic. It's working together. And what I love is that you're proactive and you're there helping the client. Let me ask you this. When you help a client, let's say they've started a business and you get them going with the website and you do some SEO and maybe some promotional products, what is your biggest satisfaction when you help a client and they come back to you and they go, oh my God, that website just pops and those promotional items are just amazing? What gets you fired up and excited once you've helped a new client kind of reach some of their dreams?
Just the person I'm talking about yesterday, the reason he came to my office is I actually train people how they can maintain their website themselves. I just don't have that lawyer mentality. Like every time you talk to me, you're being charged, $100 an hour.
Right.
And, you teach a man to fish, but no one has time, and you have to hire professionals. And it just makes me feel good when people realize that I am a professional, and then they're like, thank you, Kristen, for telling me this, but can you do it for me? And then I'm like, of course I can. So I find it really, really rewarding. And yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. One last question, then we'll bring Oren back. You and I were talking yesterday, and you're coming up on a year with NRG, getting ready to start second year. You mentioned three things to me that you were grateful for NRG. Maybe the law of attraction, because I know that's newer with you. I've been studying it for about 8 years. If you would have met me 9, 10 years ago, Kristen, or 15 years ago when I was selling copiers, I didn't have law of attraction. You would have bought a copier just to get me out of your office. I was very aggressive. I'm still a double A personality. I don't apologize. I like who I am, but I've mixed it with law of attraction. And my big thing is serving people, helping people. We had a woman join NRG in Florida yesterday at 2 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, I did what I always do. I'd blown up her phone, 23-way intros. What is maybe your biggest success story? I know you've got three, probably more, but and maybe it's a law of attraction for our viewing audience. They've been to groups, they haven't had success. We're very family oriented, everything we do. So if you would share your biggest success so far, and then we'll bring Oren back and kind of wrap up. But I'd love for you to share that, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, it's just the connections you make and meeting people. So two major things that happen. We all make business mistakes and everything. So I also do apparel, and I got into this lease of this horrible machine. And anyway, I had to take legal action, but I never even realized what Legal Shield is. And I learned about it through your group. So I got out of a very, very financially costing lease that I was told for years, like, you're stuck. So that was just amazing. And then how the connections are a domino effect. So I got to meet Z, who is an amazing programmer, and I am working with him now on a site. But he introduced me to Frank Du, a business coach, and just phenomenal business coach. So I'm always referring NRG because not only do you meet people in the group, but those connections spread out and is a domino effect, and you just meet more and more people. So it has helped me, financially, like that helped me with it. And then you get advice. So, I met bookkeepers and financial people and credit people, and we all know our business and we're experts. But when you run a business, you need to know so much stuff and you just don't know it. So it's a tremendous resource of information. And I ignore when we all get spam, and I'm sure some of those companies may be good, but I ignore a lot of stuff. But when something comes from a referral, it's trusted and it means so much more. So I got also a bookkeeper, from this whole domino effect. And actually, I got a bad bookkeeper and she saved me. But I basically met this bookkeeper through the NRG, from meeting one person to another person to another person. So you save yourself a lot of time. And when you just can make a decision, and it's like, this is a trusted, valued, vetted resource, which is great, versus some spam mail that you got in a thing, and you're like, I don't know who I'm dealing with. Is this really a valued resource?
Right. No, I love your answer. We'll bring Orrin back in, but you brought up a good word, domino, and I always say energy is about access. So you meet one person, that leads you to another, and then to another, and so forth. And I always say to people, don't prejudge anybody. The weirdest looking guy could lead you to your biggest deal. So you just don't know. And energy, it's all family. And the domino, that's a great word, domino. I hear that word, but not enough. So now I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. You've been a great addition to the Philly NRG group, and more importantly to NRG in general. So Orrin, I'm going to bring you back in when you're ready. And now, Chris, it's been great having you here. I'm excited to see what year 2 is going to be like. I know you and I are planning on doing some great things together. So Orrin, I will turn it back over to you.
No problem. No problem. Great interview so far. Kristen, I have one question for you. You mentioned this backstage, and I just had to have us talk a little bit about it on air, about self-care. Tell us about the importance in self-care and why it is that we have to take care of ourselves. Where Mike speaks so highly about law of attraction, but when we attract people to us, or either when we're attracted to people, wanting to make sure we're taking care of ourselves first, so we're not giving bad energy. Can you tell us a little bit about what it is that you've done and what it is that you do, so that it gives us something to put in our mental notebooks to carry us
Sure.
throughout 2023?
So 2021, I was actually in a bad space, as in I am a workaholic, and you think you're doing such a good job, like work, and that's the way society is and everything. And I knew of the story, of taking your saw, and the person who just keeps sawing and sawing is slower than the person who takes the time to sharpen their blade. And self-care is like sharpening your blade. So last year was all about, and then I was also told I should have a theme. So I would say not this year, but last year, my theme was really self-care, because the entire year I got a counselor, I got a physical trainer, I got a business coach. When I do something, I do it, but it was all really, really worth it. And I've always been a positive person, but I wasn't very positive to myself. So, and then one thing I keep talking about, and I promote holidays. So my midnight motivation is about promoting holidays and positive quotes and everything. So yesterday was World Breathing Day, and that's what I streamed on. And they told me to, in the beginning, when I was to breathe 5 times a day for just like, a minute. That's 5 minutes out of your day. And that was like so impossible for me. I was like, I can't breathe for 1 minute, over a year ago when I started this whole process. And now I believe in mindfully breathing. And then it's just kind of weird how things came up. I streamed on World Breathing Day yesterday. I do these quotes and I recycle my streams. These are little marketing tips. And the thing I did, I have these cards which have positive quotes, which have my social media thing. So what I streamed this morning was a recycled one that was, I have this system, but sometimes the most important things in a whole day is the rest between two deep breaths. But what is the coincidence that I pulled up this card and yesterday was World Breathing Day and it all comes together. So there's many self-care tips I could give you, but one I would say is just breathe. Sometimes mindfully breathe, because we worry about our past, we worry about our future, but if we can stay in the present, and that is the purpose of mindfully breathing. So true. I'm going to say that for World Breathing Day, which was yesterday.
Well, you've taught us something, because I did not know that. So it's great to know, because you're right. Breathing is everything. We take it for granted. I'll tell you, but I had pneumonia at one point in time a few years ago. And when your lungs are compromised, you have no idea of how important it is to take the time to take those breaths and realize that all you have to do sometimes is breathe, right? And not hold your breath when you get anxious. Great information, Mike. This has been a great interview. Kristen, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us where we can reach you if people would like to follow you.
My main website is midnightdesign.net /links. You'll find my many websites that I have. So the primary site's midnightdesign.net, and you can find all my social media accounts and all my other sites on the /links page. That's my YouTube. I would love subscribers. I have many LinkedIn followers. My LinkedIn is huge, but would love to see you. And then if you want to see some fun stuff, my TikTok, which has my motivational stuff, but I've been doing crazy TikTok dances. I celebrated every day of the week. So if you want to see my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, fun stuff, it's there as well.
That is awesome. Well, this has been great. Mike, do we have anything else?
Kristen, appreciate you being here. It's long overcoming. I had just realized we hadn't had you on here, so I reached out to you. I tell you what, we've just got things cranking with NRG, a lot of new members coming in. I've got to get a woman named Rapali on here. She's a bookkeeper helping me with India. And she said the NRG has made her personality. She was very shy when I met her. Wow. And I was worried I'm like, how am I going to help this woman grow? I mean, she was shy, and she was at the California NRG meeting yesterday. And I had her do a testimonial with somebody new there. And she's like, NRG has made her personality. And I've been doing this 25 years. I've never heard that before, but I don't think for Kristen's not shy. So, for Kristen, it was not a problem. And, I think NRG amplifies Kristen's strengths. It gets her in front of more people. It gets her exposure. I still think a lot of people out there don't know what a real good networking group is.
So true.
And Dr. Z, we've had him on before, and he's like, I'm not bold enough. I mean, I think I'm pretty bold, but you get 3 referrals when you come to a meeting, and I blow your phone up with 20 more. Mm-hmm. We had someone in Florida yesterday, and within 8 hours, I had done that, and she was ecstatic. I mean, she was so pumped. And, for the viewing audience, you get to meet great people like Kristen and Dr. Z and, everybody through NRG. So, I would encourage, if you're watching this, get with Kristen. If you're new business, or your website's static. We don't use that word enough, right, Kristen? I know what static is, so I can talk about if it's not generating income and it's not moving. And I love the fact that you're helping people be able to control their website. You're not holding them hostage. I've heard that term before. And, I had a situation and I needed Legal Shield as well. And I've had them since '01. So quick plug for them. They're phenomenal organization. I mean, for pennies on the dollar, you're going to pay an attorney $400 to $500 an hour
So
when
true.
you have Legal Shield. And that's the thing is, I always, people ask me, it's funny, people come to a meeting and they go, well, I'm Aflac and we have supplemental. And it's like, and they go on and on. And it's like, I know a little bit about everything to be lethal and dangerous. I've been
Yeah.
doing this for a while. I'm not, I'm an expert in networking. That's my gig. I can't throw a football like Lamar or a baseball like Ripken, but I know a little bit about, everything that, I can talk with Kristen intelligently about what she does. And I tell you one thing that Kristen hasn't talked a lot about is the promotional products. And I know you're actually looking for someone now. And if anybody is out there, and you know how to sell, she wants a professional, right? You want
Yes.
someone good, guy, gal, doesn't matter age,
Yeah.
color, religion. We don't care
People
about
think
any of that.
everyone can sell and I can sell, but I'm really, really busy. So I really do need a professional salesperson. I have the leads. I have the setup. I have the systems in place. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And then I keep saying, I'm looking for another me.
We love it.
I'm trying to find another me. So if you can identify with me and what I do, I would love to hear from you. I've been saying that for a couple of years now, but you got to speak it into existence. So I'm looking for another Kristen out there.
So, Oren, what she's saying, she's looking for someone smart, intelligent, charismatic, extroverted, personable. I mean, you might as well just clone yourself, Kristen. That might be the quickest thing, than going out and searching for somebody.
Yeah. They're out there. They're definitely out there. Yes, indeed. You put it out there in the atmosphere and it will attract. It will attract. Yes,
put it out to the universe. Yep.
Yes, indeed.
Well, I
I think we're good, Oren. Anything you want to wrap up with?
Yeah, no, I'll wrap up. Krista, you were saying something. You were we thank you for being here, but I apologize. What were you going to say?
No, I just want to thank you. I don't think I've been able to thank you enough. So I want to thank NRG in general, but also for giving me this opportunity to speak and share. So as I said, last year was my theme was self-care. So this year my theme is self-promotion, which is why you see me, pushing so hard on the TikTok and the YouTube. But I have learned so much, and people think these influencers just like get a million people easily, just like the website. You build it and they will not come. You have to work at it. So even on social media, these influencers that have like all these people, I just watched a thing. My son's into Dungeons and Dragons, and there's this amazing dungeon master who is a huge influencer, but the science and the work that he's put in behind the social. So it's all work, but at least it's fun.
That's true. That's true. Having fun while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you for joining us. This has been another great episode of NRG This Week. I am Oren Stewart, joined by our great guest, Kristen Kodensky, as I join Mike Weiner. Self-care, everyone. Take care of yourself, and following self-care, self-promoting. Make sure whatever your businesses are that you promote them so that people know what it is that you do and they know where to reach you. Have a great week. See you next week.